What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today, I'm excited about this one because, if you haven't known, this brewery has kind of turned into my favorite brewery of all time. So, whenever I get the chance to review a brew from them, I already automatically know today's going to be a good day. So, today, we're going to be taking a look at a Russian Imperial Stout from Adroit called Coven. Look at that damn can art. Holy crap, if that doesn't scream like death metal theme anything, that is just awesome. Absolutely fantastic. You guys can probably guess what I'm going to give this can art for a rating, but Jesus Christ, this looks fucking amazing. Yeah, this guy comes in at a whopping 12% ABV, so starting the day off with a little higher of an ABV brew, but that's okay. Gets the blood flowing early. So, before we get into that, I've talked about Adroit Theory before. Pretty much they like creating drinkable art, and they're pretty much the brewery that embodies the metal lifestyle, along with making some crazy craft brews over there in Percival, Virginia. So if you ever have the opportunity to go over there and check out their tap house and everything, highly recommend doing so. Make some fantastic stuff over there. The art they do on their cans is absolutely fantastic. Hits me like right with everything I'm looking for when it comes to what can art or bottle art should be to me. And plus they have some pretty cool gear you can get. Shirts, like posters, all that kind of stuff. They even do beer releases and all that kind of stuff along with that. Yeah, I know I'm not reverted to the left. I fixed it, Lee. But, yeah. I'm expecting with this one, knowing that it's a Russian Imperial Stout, it's going to be a little bit more of those deeper, darker, like maybe more chocolatey, more coffee kind of flavors. Maybe a little bit of a bitterness. I noticed with Russian Imperial Stouts, there is definitely more bitter notes that come through. It's not like a pastry stout. It's not like your average just milk stout. So I don't think there's going to be a crazy amount of sweetness to this one, but I think there'll be a subtle kind of different notes, and maybe all kinds of different sweetness. Coffee might add the bitterness. So I'm really excited to try this one. So without further ado, let's crack this guy open and see what we're getting on the smell with this guy. So right off the bat, definitely getting that like more of that bitter, like malty kind of smell from the coffee. Definitely a nice maltiness coming through. Maybe a little bit of chocolate. I'm guessing if there's going to be any kind of chocolate note, with it being a Russian Imperial Stout, it'd probably lean towards the dark chocolate kind of flavor. But who knows? I'm thinking there might be some notes in here that kind of just balance it out. From what I've been reading on people checking this stuff in, there's a pretty good coffee note in there. And I guess somebody checked this in saying there were maybe some different like umami flavors that kind of go along with this as well. I'll read that kind of description of what this guy said on it after we take a couple sips and talk about it a little bit. But yeah, it smells absolutely fantastic. So, pouring this today inside of my untapped tulip glass. I'm guessing this is going to be like dark, syrupy, just heavy blackness. So let's see. Oh yeah. Not really much of a head. Kind of with a little bit of the head there is. It's definitely having that more of that light brown color. But just dark as my soul, which is exactly what I want to see with this kind of beer. Yeah, look at that. A little bit more of a head than I thought. Kind of more of that lighter brown kind of color on there. Yep, still getting a lot of that, like a little bit of like a bitterness from the coffee. Maybe like a little bit of a malty sweetness. Maybe some like toffee and caramel kind of notes coming through. Yeah, it smells absolutely delicious. Actually, now that I smell it, there's definitely that booziness that's coming through on the nose. But without further ado, let's give this guy a try. So, cheers, everybody. Happy Saturday. Hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely has a very smooth, like, creamy mouthfeel without having a lot of that, like, sweetness coming through like you would get on a pastry or a milk stout. Definitely very coffee in your face at first. A nice bitterness coming through. Kind of the bitterness kind of lingers on your tongue a little bit, along with that kind of boozy 12% ABV kind of coming through as well. But there's definitely a slight sweetness. It's not like an overpowering sweetness. So I would definitely say it's more on the bitter side than sweet side. So if you're into a nice Russian Imperial Stout, this would be right up your alley. I'm talking to you directly, Ian, because I know you're into your stouts. So yeah, this is fantastic. Definitely getting some other flavors coming through that kind of are bringing like slight sweetness, kind of bitter from the coffee. A little bit of like a savory note in there as well. So I can definitely see why somebody was kind of describing a little bit notes of like an umami kind of situation, just because you get so many different like flavor profiles. It kind of creates this one cohesive, like, just overall flavor profile when it comes to having so many different little notes that come through just to create that cohesive flavor. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Wow. Yeah. Amazing. Of course. I wouldn't expect anything less from Adroit Theory, to be honest. So let's see what Untapped has to say about this guy. It looks like they have a description on here as well. So Coven is a full-bodied roasty with just enough of malty sweetness to balance out the finishing bitterness. Aromas of coffee and chocolate proceed on your sip with more subtle notes of caramel on the palate. So yeah, definitely getting that slight sweetness. Definitely the coffee is coming through really, really heavy. But I heard somebody saying it was like more of like a cold brew coffee kind of flavor. So if you're into coffee stouts, if you're into a nice Russian Imperial stout that's going to be more on the bitter side of a dark beer, this will definitely be right up your alley. Very smooth, has a nice creamy mouthfeel. Absolutely fantastic. So Untapped's, like I said before, 12% ABV. And with over 933 ratings on this one has an average rating of 4.03 out of 5, which, yeah, that's a fantastic rating for as many people as they did. So here's the comment that I wanted to read when somebody checked this in. So this guy gave it a 4.5 out of 5, and he said the last Adroit Theory stout he had was sad. This is joy, big, no vast weight, Titanic stout, merciless depth of malt and raw cocoa, an assault of charred malt and toasted oak, cold brewed coffee, seaweed, anise. I'm mild, so I'm guessing he's getting like seaweed and anise, kind of like maybe like a star anise kind of flavor. Hated for the universe is intense. Love. So this guy, there were some notes that I understood, but the kind of comment was all over the place. But he gave it a 4.5. So when I saw this comment of him posting on here, kind of gave me like maybe kind of look out for maybe possible umami flavors. I'm not really getting much of like a saltiness, maybe, or like a kind of a different umami flavor. I'm definitely getting like a savory note in there, but I wouldn't, maybe it'd be because it's a barrel aged one, and you'd probably get like a slight oakiness that would kind of get in to bring in that kind of savoriness, also kind of add a little bit to the bitter notes. But overall, yeah, the coffee flavor in this is fantastic. This like the slight sweetness of maybe like a toffee or a caramel. It's not too intense. It's not for what you're trying to create with a Russian Imperial Stout, and kind of bringing out more of those deeper, darker notes and having that bitterness kind of be the main profile in it. I think they did it really well with not making it too bitter, along with not making it too sweet. So, let's see what somebody else gave this. Somebody gave this a 4 out of 5. Let's see. Somebody gave this a 4.25 out of 5. A lot of people are purchasing this stuff overseas is what I'm seeing. So people are able to find this stuff in Holland, because I know Adroit Theory has been able to make their way over to Europe around there, because they make a lot of styles of stuff that are really big over in the UK, like UK, Europe, Germany, all that kind of stuff. So let's see what other people said. Somebody else gave it a 4.5. This guy gave it a 3.25. A 3.75 purchase off Tavor, which is how I got mine. 3.5 another purchase off Tavor. Let's see, 4 out of 5. Let's see, 3.75 purchase off Tavor. He was wondering where's the song that goes with this. I keep it out of my Instagram after this, because I'm definitely gonna be putting a little bit of an Instagram story on this one. And who knows? I'm still kind of thinking of what the song I'm gonna do for my Instagram story. What's the damage on it? I don't think this is really when I looked to see if it was on tap on their website, it didn't show that it's available on tap right now, but it's probably more of like that winter kind of style of brew, kind of still going into the cold months. So you may be able to get your hands on this one when the rotation comes back, when they decide to bring this one back. But they have some Russian Imperial Stouts over at Adroit Theory right now, where here's one that I have downstairs that it's a Russian Imperial. It's a 12% as well. So for a 16-ounce glass, Ian, $11.25 for a 16-ounce glass, or for a 4-pack, $22 over at the brewery, which isn't bad. Not at all, especially when you're getting 4 cans of a 12% ABV. Yeah, I would say that's pretty reasonable in my head. But yeah, the flavors on this are fantastic. It's exactly what I look for when it comes to a Russian Imperial Stout. I always know when I'm kind of drinking this kind of stout that I'm not expecting a lot of sweetness, a lot of those token syrupy kind of just like more desserty stout situation. This is definitely be more bold, more bitter, more notes of coffee coming through. But they absolutely knocked it out of the park with trying to do that on this one. So yeah, and ratings on Untappd this one are pretty high, pretty damn high if I say so myself. So let's see what we're going to do about this one. Let's start going through our ratings here. But first, let me pour the rest of this into the glass because there's only a little bit left. And let's talk about can art, because you guys can already probably guess what I'm going to give this one for a rating for can art, just because it's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. The amount of detail they put into their artwork, or the artists that they have do their stuff, is just outstanding. Having like the skeletons under there, kind of like recreating like a cave for like a witch's coven kind of situation. Of course, you can see like a human sacrifice happening right there, or a witch, kind of with like half skeleton body. Really, really cool on that. Really love the font on this one, having that whole death metal font kind of situation. And of course, I always got to make mention. I'll see if this one has it on there, which actually doesn't. I'm surprised. So, most of Adroit Theory's brews, they actually have a little section on the can to where it shows what this pairs with. So they would have like a kind of like food it would pair with, the kind of cheese it would pair with, and then it would have like a cigar that it would pair with. But this doesn't have that. But it looks like this one was actually canned and bottled out of their Washington, D.C. location. So they're normally out of Percival, Virginia, but that's around the D.C. area as well. So they probably have a second location where this one was brewed and canned at. So they might have done something a little bit different on that. I would have liked to see that kind of the food, the cigar, and cheese pairing on here, but they might just do it with select ones more. They're like every more popular rotation ones I can see them having on there, just because it's more readily available throughout the year. But yeah, can art for this one is absolutely outstanding. Really, really big fan of it. So yeah, easy 5 out of 5 for can art. One of my favorite can arts I've seen Adroit Theory come out with, for sure. But let's see. If I got this one in a flight at Adroit Theory, would I get another one? 100% yes. If I'm looking for a nice Russian Imperial Stout, this would definitely be on the list of ones that I would go out and look for sure. Because a Russian Imperial Stout definitely is more of like an acquired kind of taste for a beer. Just because if people that are looking for a stout, looking for sweetness, this is not going to be the most like predominant sweetness beer kind of beer you're going to get. If you're a fan of coffee, I'd highly recommend this one because you're going to get a strong amount of coffee flavors in this one, just because Russian Imperial Stouts have that more of those bitter flavors coming through a little bit more. But yeah, not a little bit of lacing coming up on the glass, not too much. But usually with higher ABV beers, you start to notice a little bit more lacing on the glass. But this one isn't doing too bad. Definitely slightly lacy, but not to the point where it's like a crazy syrupy lacy, to where it's like the moment you drink it, you can see the bubbles just sitting up there. Yeah, but overall, fantastic job from Adroit Theory. Definitely would get another one of these by itself if I got it in a flight, for sure. I'd probably try to find a 4-pack to bring home just to have around the house. This would definitely be something I'd try to age. Sometimes it's a little bit iffy if you're able to age stuff. Mostly you're able to age Imperial Stouts or Russian Imperial Stouts in general. If they're bottled, that's more of an easier aging process, but I bet you can probably age this one as well. So yeah, really, really solid. So, what is my final rating on this one going to be? Let's see. I'd probably give this a solid like 8.75, almost a 9. Really, really good. Would highly recommend this if you're looking for a nice Russian Imperial Stout. Really, really fantastic. A little bit of booziness, not too much. Strong coffee flavors. A little bit of a malty, like toffee, caramelly sweetness coming through. But you're definitely, if you really enjoy coffee, this would definitely be one I would kind of search out for. If you like a higher ABV beer with coffee flavors, this is definitely one to keep on your list and keep an eye out for sure. Because they just absolutely knocked it out of the park with what they were trying to do with this one. But other than that, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't. Also, if you're new to the channel, this is the first video you're seeing, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell to let you know whenever I go live doing another review. I have another review I'm going to be doing tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. But that's it, guys. Pretty much, if you're looking to try to find some stuff from Adroit Theory, they're distributed out and around the East Coast. You can find them in DC. You can find them around Percival, Virginia, probably around the state of Virginia in general. I know I've heard of them kind of going into liquor stores and bottle shops all the way up to the Boston area, so you kind of just got to keep an eye out. But overall, yeah, fantastic brew. You can just, if you find a liquor store or a bottle shop that has this at one of their locations, and if you're a Russian Imperial Stout lover, get your hands on it. You will not regret it one bit. But other than that, that's what I have for you guys today. So again, thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you want to see more of a social media aspect of kind of beer social media, make sure to get yourself on Untapped. You can find people like me, Wintucky, Ian, Duchess. We're all over there. We like to have fun. And yeah, that's it, guys. So just end it like I always end it and get the hell out of here. And if you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Saturday. And I will see you all tomorrow, people. Cheers.